when you're ready, let's just work with the hands and fingers just a little bit. So flip the hands around, and if you need to have some support, you can have a bolster or blanket to give you some support. So you're just going to take, and first we just want the 4 fingers to the ground. And if that feels like too much, then take so you have this nice little ledge with the blanket or bolster. And so we want to keep the palm lifted, and we're pressing just through those 4 fingers. And then press the palms down. Same thing, if you need that extra support, put that blanket so you have a little bit of a wedge that you can press through. Bring it back up to the 4 fingers. Back down to the palms. Bring it up, flip it around, and then the tops of the hands to the floor. Same thing, you can use that blanket or bolster to give you a little bit of lift. Bring it up, take it down again. And bring it up. Then bring the hands up so their palms are pressing into each other. Take your left hand, so it's going to be right in between the thumb and the forefinger and that fleshy part, and draw the fingers down. Keep sticking that thumb out towards the front. So don't just let it hang, right? Make everything busy and active. See if you can relax the shoulders. And then bring it up and switch sides. And then bring it up. And maybe you just want to wiggle the fingers a little bit. Push the legs forward. Give them a nice little shake. And then I want you to come back in with so we have this habitual leg that we always put in front, right? So when you come in, I want you to put the opposite leg in front. So if you know that your right leg is always in front, I want the left leg in front. And then you're going to take your right hand and you're going to slide it over. You can stay high. You can drop down on a block on the forearm. Bring that top arm up and kind of just figure out where you want to be here. I don't want the left side to lift at all. You can decide if you want to take the gaze down towards the floor or up. Bring it up, take it to the second side. Bring it up. Push the legs out forward. So we're just going to hold Dandasana for a few breaths, but I want you to use the hands behind you to lengthen the spine. Make the toes active and feel like you're trying to press down through the thighs, and then toes, really try to draw the toes back, but don't let the heels come off the ground. So keep the heels to the ground, push forward, draw the toes back, press through the thighs, and use the hands behind you to lengthen. Now, if you need a little extra length, you can always put a blanket or block underneath you. Which of the legs feel like this is easier to do? Which feels most challenging? Can you lengthen the spine a little bit more? Yeah, very nice. Okay, keep that length that you have in the spine right now, and then just bring the arms up alongside the ears. Notice what's happened with the length. Keep that length, don't let any rounding happen, and go forward maybe halfway and just pause there. So we start activating the belly a bit. Maybe you don't go forward very far at all, and that's fine. I want the spine long. Okay, go ahead now, stay there, but bend the legs. So I want you to bend the legs. So you're up, you bend the legs so that the navel is on the legs. Don't let the legs drop out, squeeze the legs in. Take now the hands. So the thighs and belly should be touching. So if you need to scoot back more, that's fine. Keep everything touching and then slowly push forward. So if I'm here and I suddenly feel like my belly's pulling away, that's where I need to stay. So hands can be on the sides or tops, but you want the belly to stay. So as soon as I feel like I've got that space, then I need to stay there and really push through the feet. So try to keep the navel on the belly and push through the heels and push the feet forward. Don't let the belly come off those thighs.
Spine filling.
Keep the spine long, is that what you said? You can turn the head this way, down. Yeah, but keep this. So keep everything touch and then lengthen through here. Yeah, yeah.
But keep wearing.
Pull the legs back just a little bit. Okay, and keep, yeah. Okay, now see if you can push forward. Just, do you feel a stretch? Okay. Really keep pushing. Yeah. Nice. The long strap. With the inhalation, go ahead and bring it up. Take the left hand. Take the left hand to the crease of the left thigh. So I want you to really press down and slide the right arm out. Now, if the left leg starts to lift, you need to push back. I want everything to stay down on the left side. And then if you can keep it all down, you can bring that left arm up. So the left hip, the left sitting bone, the left thigh stays on the ground. We're not rocking over. With the inhalation, bring it up. Take it to the second side.
Okay.
Now keep that right leg grounded. With the inhalation, bring it up. If you need to give the legs a shake, do it. Now everybody should have their strap connected. So you're going to put this strap around the right foot. Then I want you to recline down. If you need a little extra support, you can keep that left leg bent. That's perfectly fine. But then push through the right leg and take that right leg up. Take the hands. Now I want the shoulders to stay on the ground. So walk the hands up the strap as much as you can if the shoulders stay down. If the shoulders start lifting, release and come back down. And then just gently, wherever you are, tug that leg towards the torso. So you feel free to tighten the strap up. I just have it at this, I was just strapping it, hooking it up, so you can make it tighter so it fits more around the foot. You do whatever you need to do so that it feels appropriate for you. If at any point you want to extend the left leg straight, you can, but I want the left leg to stay active, whether it's bent or straight. Okay, now take both hands up to the strap and begin to pull the strap overhead. So try to take the arms straight overhead behind you as you're still tugging on that leg. So if you can take the arms flat to the floor, and if you can extend the arms straight behind you, so we take the arms straight. So slide them down this way, towards me, towards the floor. Yeah. Yep. Do you feel that stretch? This is Becky, the mic. Couple more breaths here. Now take the strap and I want you to place it underneath the neck where the tail is going to the right. So it should look like this. So but you're on the floor. So the strap is now wrapped underneath the neck. You're holding onto the tail with the right hand. Push the left leg straight and then just gently draw the right leg over the left leg, but I don't want the hips to come up. So we're not doing any kind of twist right now. You're just drawing the right leg slightly over that left thigh. Now you're still tugging the strap with the right hand. Now we're going to go ahead and lower that leg down. So you are going to go into a bit of a twist. So you lower it down and then you can also hang on to the strap now with the opposite hand too to give you a little more support. So your right arm is out to the side. Your left arm's hanging on, giving you a little more support.
I gotta straighten this leg.
Just push it. Yeah.
Nice.
Are you pulling on that strap as much as you can? You can always choke up on the strap, right? You can always tighten up on it. Now bring that leg back up through center. Switch it so the strap is now on the left side. So you take it, you wrap it around the right side, and now you're holding onto it with the left hand. Then you're going to open out to the right. And the same thing, you can hold on to that strap with the right hand. Work on extending the left arm. And you can use that right arm to give you a little more support and a little more lift. If you feel like you need some support underneath that leg, we can always prop it up as well too. So just a couple breaths here. So let's address what we were talking about before class about truthfulness and having conversations that can be uncomfortable. So one more breath, and then you're going to bring that leg up through center, and then you're going to switch and you're going to put the second leg in. And then at first you just tug it back, and then you'll take it over the side with the arms behind you. So in yoga, right, ahimsa is first. And the story that you always hear explaining ahimsa before satya, before truthfulness, is there's a Swami and he's meditating and he's out in front of his cave and there's a lady that comes by and she's screaming, they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. And he says, run into my cave. So if you've been there for a breath or two, when you're ready, then you take it overhead. You take the arms overhead.
So not that the neck just jump. See.
And then shortly after, there comes some brigands, right? Some thugs. And they asked the Swami, have you seen this woman? We need her. And he said, no, I haven't. Or sometimes you hear he says, oh, she ran that way. So if you haven't gone overhead, go ahead and go overhead now. And so they take off running, looking for her. So had he said, oh, she's in the cave, they would have gone in and they would have killed her. So nonviolence before satya, before truthfulness. But we can speak truth or choose not to speak truth because we simply want to avoid some discomfort. And then that becomes violent. Now one more breath, and then you're going to take this strap and you're going to wrap it underneath the head so that the tail is going out on the left side. And then push the right leg straight. At first, there is no twist. You're just taking that leg over to the right. Like I said, you can always tighten up on that strap. After you've been there for a few breaths, then you can take it over and you can use the right hand to support you as well. Right, but how many times do we choose not to be honest? We're all guilty of it. Because we don't want to face the discomfort that comes from the truth. Then that's just being a coward. That's being weak, right? How many times have we been in relationships that we know they should end, but we don't end them because we don't want to face that discomfort? How many times do we lie to our boss about something that has happened or something that we did or something that we didn't do because we don't want to face the discomfort of saying, I didn't do it, or I did this wrong, or I broke this, or this relationship's not right. Neither one of us are growing here. You know, you hear people say, oh, I got married because my family wanted me to get married to this person. Okay, now we're going to flip it. So bring that leg up and you're going to flip the strap so it's going to come to the opposite side. And then you're going to open out to the left.
Yep, I'm just going to flip this strap. So you're taking it this way. Yep. Yep. And then open this. And then you can use this hand for support. Yep. There you go.
So we lie to not face consequences. This is where yoga, our practice, gives us the confidence to say what we need to say, right? How many times have we said something to someone that wasn't true because we want them to like us? But living in a web of lies and a web of deceit is very damaging. How can we ever be strong if we never test our strength? I'm not saying we have to go shout things from the rooftops, right? But when we come face to face with the situation and we choose to lie for our own comfort, we've created such a weakness in ourselves. And we've misled this other person, whoever it may be. And we can't keep living like that because we'll make no growth, we'll make no strides.
Right.
Okay, come back through center. Take the strap off. You need to squeeze the legs, that's fine. Now you're going to take the strap, and so let's have the buckle, because we're going to start with the right leg. I want the buckle on the right side, and I want the tail so you can pull it up a bit. So then you're going to take, and you're going to point the toes at first because we want the toes to stay pointed. So I want this strap as low on the top of the foot as I can, on the ankle, and then on the crease as much. Then I squeeze it in, and then I tighten that strap up so that now it's going to stay there. So my leg is going to stay in this position. So it's going to look like that. So we want the strap as low to the crease as you can get it, wrapped around the top, and then I want you to keep that right foot pointed. Squeeze, make sure that strap is as tight as you can get it. Push that left leg out. Take the left arm, open out to the side, and you're just gonna, in the right arm, so you've got these airplane wings, you're just gonna drop over to the left, come back up, take it to the right, doing that a few times. So you're just taking to the left, keep the toes pointed, keep the foot pointed, come back through the right, do it nice and slow with some control. So you're going into a twist and then you're opening.
Jill, I'm going to test this wrapped around to that shot.
I don't know if it feels uncomfortable, but it looks uncomfortable to me, so.
Good.
Okay, yeah, now tighten it up. And keep, yeah. Yeah. Yep. So if we're doing things just to avoid that discomfort, we need to stop. If we're doing something to save someone's life, then of course, you know, the Swami that said, no, she's not here, or she ran the other way. The next time you come back through center, squeeze that leg in, pick it up, and you're going to roll over. So I want you to roll over to all fours. So now this strap is still really tight. You're on all fours. I want you to lift that right leg up and begin to make circles with the right leg, keeping it locked into place. Big circles. Try to keep the left leg so it's straight, it's perpendicular, you're not leaning to the side. Reverse the circles. Right, this is where we have to be really honest. So we have to think about everything we say. Because many times we have lies coming out of our mouths that we're not even aware of. Okay, now the next time you come back through neutral, pause, drop down to the forearms. So keep that leg up, but then draw the leg in and push it up. Draw it in and push it up. So you're trying to bring it up towards the navel and push it back. We want that strap to stay super tight. We want to keep you feeling like you're locked into position. So if you need to tighten that strap up a bit, do it. The next time you get up, you're going to pause and then just come to the ball of that back foot, the left foot, slide it over, and then push that left leg straight. Now, you can just go in to Jani Shirsasana. That's perfectly fine. Keeping the strap in that locked position. If you're comfortable in lotus, go to lotus and take the strap behind you. Now this one it's really nice if you are in lotus, if you keep that strap really tight and keep it locked in. Now the first, we're going to take that hand, and if you can hook the foot behind you, or maybe you can hook on a shirt or whatever, but you're just going forward. And if this is not working, go to Jani Shirsasana. That's perfectly fine to stay on the inside and take it forward. Flip this. Yep.
Yeah.
With the inhalation, come up and just switch it. So now if you got that strap behind you, hook the strap and take it forward. So the opposite hand is going around, you're grabbing it. So you're not reaching for the toe, you're reaching for the hip. But then when we think about this stuff, right, then we have to go back and think, okay, why would I lie, right? Or why would I avoid a conversation? What was my motive in that? What was I trying to accomplish? Or what am I trying to accomplish? All of our actions stem from lack. Now from here with the inhalation, bring it up. Go ahead, scoot that off, roll back, but let's just go into a hip stretch. So go ahead and remove the strap because we'll be placing it on the second leg here in a second, and just stretch out the hip a little bit. It's all this lack from forgetting who we are, from just forgetting that we are a child of God, that we are a replica of God. But because we've so identified with the ego, that I am, right? I am this, I am that. You are not this, you are not that. We're separate. One more breath, and then take that strap and wrap it around that second leg. So same thing, keep the foot pointed. We want it around the top of the, right at that crease and the top of the foot. And then when you get there, then just gently start opening and closing that leg. Or more going into that twist and coming back and opening. So when we understand the motive, it gives us a great deal to work with. If I never understand my actions, I'll never look at my actions. Right? We want to look at the actions, our behaviors, our thoughts. We want to examine them. We want to understand that underlying motive. So do about 3 more. And then you'll pull the leg in, you'll roll it up. And you'll come over to all fours, and then you'll do those circles with that leg, with that bound leg. Right? We keep seeking outside of ourselves. When we really know who we are, we don't seek anything outside of ourselves. There's not one thing we seek outside of ourselves for joy, for contentment, for pleasure seeking. Because the kingdom of God is within. The kingdom of God is not from people pleasing. The kingdom of God is not from pleasure seeking. We're here to make those strides, knowing who and what we are. So if you've been making circles for a bit, go ahead and reverse. If you've just started making those circles, do it for a bit more before you reverse. But if I understand my lack, right? If I understand that I seek attention because I want to feel like someone loves me, because I want to feel like someone adores me, because I want to feel like someone treasures me, whatever it is, because someone thinks I'm intelligent, because someone thinks I'm spiritual, right? If I'm doing these things because I want to present a different image, I want people to think I'm confident, whatever it is, it's stemming from that place of lack. So if you've been doing your circles for a bit and you've reversed it, then you can come to that neutral position with the leg up, and then you drop down to the forearms, and then you work on bringing that leg forward and pushing it back. If you're looking for something to add to your practice, here's a breathing practice for you to do. Inhale pure love and recognition that you are loved from the cosmos. Feel that saturating your entire being. Exhaling the need for attention, the need for adoration, the need for acceptance, the need for people to be okay with you. Exhale that and let it go. Inhaling back, saturating your entire being with that recognition that you are pure love from the cosmos. At the core of your being, at the core of my being, that's who I am. Exhaling that need for attention, that need for attachment, right? We don't really want, because we don't understand what love is, we want that attachment. We want people to be attached to how I think I am. And I want you to see me that way, and I want you to be attached to it. So then you think, wow, this person's pretty spectacular. Finish this one, and then we're going to rock back, and then you can go into Janu Sirsasana, or you can work on the lotus, the bound lotus with the strap, or the bound Janu Sirsasana. And if you're feeling like the strap isn't working, you can remove it as well. That's fine. Yeah, and then we can just pop it. Oops. Keep this foot busy though. Yeah.
This is the, yep, the.
So if you can reach around and hook the foot, you don't have to. You can just stay in Janu Sirsasana, and that's perfectly fine. With the inhalation, bring it up. If you're in that lotus, then you can use the strap, or you can hook the thigh and take it down again. So this Guru Purnima rededication, recharge, recommitment week is about examining ourselves, examining our practice, understanding what it is I need to do to make my practice more potent. To make my practice, and by more potent I mean transformative. Let's not be the same person we are today next week because of our practice. With the inhalation, bring it up. Go ahead and you can take the strap off and then roll to the back and do that hip stretch. But keep the strap nearby. And just stretch out that hip a bit. I believe we've all read Living with the Himalayan Masters. And there's the one story where Swamiji and Babaji are in the train station, and a gentleman asks for a practice. And I love when Babaji says, give him a practice, and Swamiji says, no, It would be one fool leading another fool. You give him a practice. So he told him not to lie for 30 days. And during that time, he was arrested for accepting bribes. His wife, his children left him, did all these things. At the end, he was in jail, right? The judge said, what's happening here? He said, I've been given a practice by a saint, a sage. I am not going to lie. The judge knew Babaji. Don't forget, Babaji sat on the high court in India. So he knew Babaji. He knew him as a sage. He released him from jail. Bring it back up. So unwind, squeeze the legs and bring it back up. You're going to want to have 2 blocks nearby. And then take the strap, so maybe just a little less than the hip pointers. So you're probably going to want to tighten it up a bit. And then I want you to place it around the ankles. I personally don't like the buckle touching my ankles. I like the buckle in the air part. Then you're going to roll over, and this is where the blocks are going to come in handy, because this might feel more intense on the toes. Let me turn this way so you can see. So I want you to tighten up enough that you can feel, I want you to press into the strap with the ankles. And maybe we start right here, and this is perfectly fine. And we just stay here. If you feel like the toes, just haven't stretched this way and need some extra support, you can always rock back or maybe just release a little bit. But try to sit nice and tall. Keep pressing in to the strap. This is going to keep the feet more parallel to each other using the strap this way.
What's that up? Saw.
No, just, yeah. No, just stay. No. So then at the end of that period of time, then he received notice that he had received quite a lot of money from the family land. And suddenly, the wife and the children wanted to come back to him. He gave them the money and said, no. If this is what happens to me after this amount of time of lying, I'm going to do an experiment to see what else happens if I don't lie. It's quite powerful if you think about it. Truthfulness is key. Now from here, press into the block, stay on the heels or on the balls and push up. And then you're going to lower down and push up. Lower down, keep pushing into the strap and push up. Miss Conway, you don't need to do this if this is too much for that. Couple more times this way. Joel and I were talking at one point, and I was talking to him about how, and when I had COVID, when Riley and I had COVID a few weeks ago. Okay, the next time you come down, stay down, but walk the knees forward. So you walk the knees forward and then walk them back, forward and walk them back. Doing that a few times, and then maybe like 5 times forward, 5 times back. At the end, walk it forward and stay there.
But
This may feel uncomfortable now, but your feet are going to feel like they're breathing here in a second. Right? We just stuff our feet into socks and shoes all day long. They don't get a chance to get any attention, really. But they're our foundation.
Yep.
And then now from here, release back into, if you're not comfortable in a squat, you can put a blanket underneath you. And then from here, so make sure you're pressing into that strap with the blocks, right? I want you to press and I want you to lift up, and you can take the arms up. You can keep the arms at the side. You can take the arms out, whatever you need to do, and you're going to lower down. Keep pushing into that strap with the sides of the feet as you go up and down. But as I was talking to Joe, I was telling him, like, I was becoming aware of like little ways that I lie because I've become lazy with my words. Somebody can ask something, right? And I know the answer. They might say, is it raining outside? And I might say, I think it is. I know it is. I should just say, yes, it's raining. But we've become lazy with the way we talk, with the way we express ourselves. And the lazier we become, the harder it is to maintain truthfulness, right? We need to be impeccable with our words. Do 5 more. So that our words mean something. Our word should be our bond. Right? When we say we're going to do something, we should do it. But if I spend a lot of time not being honest, then when I say I'm going to do something, chances are I'm not going to do it. Okay, at the end of that 5th, stay high. Keep pushing into the strap, and then bring the arms up, and you're going to lean to the right as you look to the left. Keep pushing into that strap. Come back up through center. Take it to the second side. Look up under towards the opposite direction. Bring it back up through neutral. Just switch the lace of the hands so the opposite forefingers in that lead position. Take it to the second side, or to the first side second time. Look up underneath. Right, part of being honest is also being karmically current too. Bring it back up. Take it to the second side. Look up underneath those arms. right? If I'm karmically current, if I'm honest, if I'm impeccable with my word, there's less clutter in my mind. Mark Twain said, if I tell the truth, I never have to remember what I said. Bring it back up. Go ahead, open the arms, take it all the way down, scoot that strap off. Step back to all fours. Bring the left leg out to the side. You can use this block here if you want. Take the left arm down and the right arm up. So this is use blocks if you feel like you need a little extra space, right? Keep the right thigh perpendicular. This is back where that practice comes in handy. It gives us the strength, the courage to be impeccable with our words, because we start loving ourselves more. And the more I love myself, the less I will rely on someone else to love me. But the more I love myself, the less I rely on someone else to love me, the more I can actually love that person. That's amazing. Switch the arms. So you're staying in that same position, but you're just switching the opposite arm. So taking the right arm down and the left arm up. The less I love myself, the less I like myself, the more I am going to try to find it outside of myself. Release, bring that leg back. Second side. Right, we have these control dramas that we come with, how we've manipulated people through lifetimes. And we want to change those. We want to stop the manipulation. We want to see someone for who they are, where they are, and love them because we see ourselves for who we are, where we are, and we have learned to love ourselves. And when we see who we are and we see who another person is, we start to alleviate the expectations. Switch the arms.
Yeah.
But this is where we must always hold ourselves to a higher standard, because we're on the spiritual path. We've said it several times this week. We have everything we need to succeed. We have the tradition behind us, cheering us on. Come back up through center, back to all fours. Just do about 5 cat and cows, reset. And then I want you to swing the legs. It doesn't matter which way you swing them. And then come into Upavishta. And the same thing, so let's first start with the hands behind us when you are in Upavishta, just to sit nice and tall. So use those hands behind you to lift up so the spine stays nice and long. So if I don't have expectations for someone, I can just love them for who they are. This is the saints and sages. They see us for exactly who we are and where we are and love us and encourage us. They're working behind the scenes all the time. We just have to open up to that awareness. Okay, we're going to do one more thing with the strap. So now take the strap, and this time it's going to be pretty wide. And then you're going to hook it around each big toe. Then what you're going to do, so you've got the big toes hooked in there, then I want you to pull that strap away like it's a slack line. So hook it on those toes and then pull. By hooking it on the big toes, that's going to give you the magic. So we want it as tight as we can. Yeah, can you bring this guy up? Yeah. Keep pulling it apart. You might feel the hips kind of tighten up, maybe even Charlie horse a little bit. He's giving you some resistance. So about 30 more seconds.
So,
Keep the hands behind you to keep nice and long in the spine. So you have this breath practice that we talked about earlier if you choose to do it. But also here's a practice about being impeccable with your word. Pull it really, really, really tight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, release that strap. And then just come forward into whatever. You can use bolsters, you can use blankets, you can use blocks. You can shorten the space so you don't have to be all the way out if you want to. So we're going to be here for a few breaths. The other really beautiful thing about not lying to ourselves, seeing ourselves for exactly who we are and what we do, seeing others for who they are and what they are, and having that acceptance gives us so much strength and so much courage. We start to lose our self-doubt. Because not only are we seeing ourselves for who we are, others for who they are, but we're seeing the universe as it is. But as long as I'm not honest about who I am and why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing them, as long as I'm not impeccable with my word, as long as I'm trying to avoid whatever it is I'm trying to avoid, confrontations, having someone not like me, whatever it is, right? I will be weak. I will be confused. I won't be courageous. Swamiji said, the quickest way to enlightenment is to be fearless. We lie because we're afraid. That's something to really consider. What are you afraid of, right, when you lie? With the inhalation, bring it up. Bring the legs back. Walk it forward. So like Mark Twain said, right? If I tell the truth, I don't have to remember what I said. But also if I tell the truth, I don't have to be afraid. We have just become lazy. With the inhalation, bring it up. Take your right hand to the left leg and go into some sort of a twist. So remember, you can become enlightened right here and right now if you are fearless. Take it to the second side. Unwind, do whatever you need to do, shake it out, whatever, and then flip around so we can get ready for relaxation. And our guided meditation.
Then we allow the space at the crown of the head to relax. The space in between the eyebrows, relax. Temples, relax. Eyes, nose, mouth, relax. Chin, jawline, ears, relax. Neck, throat, relax. Shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, relax. Wrist, palms, fingers, relax. Tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, relax. Chest, belly, all the internal organs, relax. Hips, buttocks, relax. Thighs, knees, shins, calves, relax. Ankles, heels, arches, tops of the feet, balls of the feet, toes, relax. The entire body has become totally, completely relaxed. Now returning to the breath, directing it to the toes and the fingers, and gently begin to wiggle them. And then allowing the body to stretch and to move as if for the first time today. And when it feels right, rolling to whichever side is beckoning. And when the body decides it's time, bringing it to a seated posture. Om Save Bhavantu Sukhinaha Save Santu Niramaya Save Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhagavavet. Om Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti. And now doing whatever you need to do to make your seat comfortable and steady. Notice the breath. And doing whatever you need to do to make the breath steady and serene. The next exhalation, taking the breath from the crown down to the toes. The inhalation, the tips of the toes back up through the crown. And continuing up and down. The next exhalation to the ankles. Inhaling back to the crown. The next exhalation to the knees. And then inhaling back to the crown. Next exhalation to the tip of the tailbone. Inhaling back to the crown. Staying in the spinal column, but exhaling to the region around the lower abdomen. Inhaling back to the crown.
Staying in the spinal column, with the region around the solar plexus. Exhaling and then inhaling back up to the crown. The next exhalation to that space in the spinal column behind the heart, and then inhaling back to the crown of the head. The next exhalation to that space behind the throat, and then inhaling back to the crown of the head. The next exhalation to that space, that piece of skin, that little bit of skin right between the nostrils, and then staying there. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. Feeling the coolness, the inhalation, the warmth of the exhalation. Right at this spot. Feel as if it is one stream of breath. Feeling the full inhalation as one stream, the full exhalation as one stream. Right at this point. The left and the right have merged. The Ida and the Pingala have moved into, and now we are traveling with the Sushumna. The next inhalation, travel with this one stream up to that space in between the eyebrows. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out through this space. Balanced. serene, one stream. Feeling the expansion. And knowing that you are the observer. Observing the thoughts, but not engaging them. The thoughts come, they go, return back to this stream of expansion. The stream of awareness, the stream of contentment. Aware of the sounds, the returning back to the breath as the observer. Beyond reacting, beyond the ego, beyond the confines of the little self, the small self.